The lawsuit was, I think they filed it in October last year.
I think it's brings to curiosity for me, like, what's the relationship between Diddy and Jay Z? Because over time
Yeah.
we're just like Diddy and Jay Z are friends, but like,
But we don't know what we don't know.
yeah, we don't know what you don't know. So like,
That's true. But then
yeah,
do you guys think like his response being so emotional and so immediate, do you think that speaks to it being true or false? Like where do you lean on that?
I don't even know like if I can choose true or not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
Assassinated.
yeah.
So this guy basically, like, let's get into this guy's brain. This guy actually did a 3D printing
Yeah.
of a gun and the silence.
My take is that there's a huge machine behind this. The person who actually did the murder, the assassination, was too good. But then what do you guys think keeps us divided? Because if you think about it, okay, so there's the Caribbean black people, there's the African American, there's the African black people, there's the European black people.
I don't know. I think there's also the aspect of classism. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check mine 2 1 2. Check my check 1 2 1 2. Okay. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches. By all means, good day, good morning, and good evening. Whatever time you're watching this, you are now tuned into one of the greatest. The Raw Takes itself. Muchas gracias for joining in. It's your boy TP, aka Kobe. You know what it is. I'm joined here by my amazing co-host, the wordsmith himself, the one and only Mister.
It's your boy Tuafeni. Yeah. Welcome to episode number 12 of the Raw Takes.
Wow.
Episode number 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys.
Nah,
You've been
been working hard.
consistent.
We've been working hard.
It's dope.
And today we are joined by a wonderful guest. You want to intro yourself, or should I?
I'm Taleni, friend to the podcast. I'm excited to be here.
You've actually been a friend for a while. It's just that we haven't brought her. Yeah.
She has.
This is long overdue.
It's long overdue. Yeah.
And we're always looking like for the right slot to say like this is Taleni's slot, and we're like,
Yeah, we've always been looking for the right episode. But yeah, here we are.
So what about this episode was like, bring Taleni on?
I think also
what about this episode specifically?
Yeah, like why did you guys call me now?
We've been wanting to call you since. It's just that we just were looking for the perfect episode, Yeah. But what were you gonna say? Sorry, I don't wanna jump.
No, like through the year we've had different guests, but like our chemistry, even like when we talk and everything, we're like, yeah, Taleni will make a very good guest for the podcast. So that's
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're also happy. We're also happy to have you. Otherwise, let's just jump right into it, right?
Let's do it.
I think looking at what's been happening this week, one of the things that stood out was the Jay-Z lawsuit. But initially, the lawsuit was I think they filed it in October last year.
Yeah.
It was a Diddy lawsuit where he was actually accused of having been involved in a alleged group rape, I think. So what had happened was there's this girl who got raped in 2000, and at the time she was 13 years old, and she then filed last year. I think now she's about 38.
Yeah.
And then she filed to say that initially she said that after the VMAs, which is an award show, after the VMAs, they invited her to after party, and then when she got there, then she got into that, like she got raped.
Yeah.
And then now they amended the case, and then initially went to Jay-Z and asked him to say that, hey, my guy, we don't want to put this out there. Can we settle in court, outside of court? Maybe you can give us.
So when did they approach Jay-Z with this?
I think sometime this year, because even now when the news is coming out, it's more of like after they had initially tried to get money out of the situation and settle outside of court. Because I think the lawyer, I forgot his name.
But you know, with these court cases, there's always a period where people are negotiating outside court.
Yeah.
Then we actually just see the information.
Yeah. Especially where there's a money grab. I think even with the KC situation, Diddy just knew that he was gonna lose.
Yeah.
And so he just settled out of court.
Yes.
So with this case as well, what they did was, because eventually with cases like this, the end goal is to get money out of it. So if we can get money without going into court, then let's do that. So the approach was go to Jay-Z and then trying to settle outside of court. And then Jay-Z was like, no, actually, I'm not gonna do that route. If you actually wanna, or is the word route? I'm not gonna go down that route.
Yeah.
So if you actually want us to contest, let's contest.
Yes.
And they actually went and filed and amended the initial case
filings. Yeah.
The initial filings.
Yes.
And so Jay-Z responded 2 hours later once that thing started trending, and he was like, hey, you know what, I have a kid, and my kid is now going to school, and she's now gonna see all of this.
Is this the one that he posted?
Yeah.
Which was so out of character, by the way.
Yeah.
Because usually him and Beyonce don't say anything.
They usually don't.
And he came quick.
And the way he wrote it was very like emotional. So he like expressed himself very emotionally.
No, without a
so
doubt.
Like it's very unlikely for Jay-Z to do that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not his character to I mean, even the Jaguar Wright situation, he didn't even write anything. It was more of like a lawyer came out to say that, hey, can you take that video off? We don't wanna be involved in that type. But basically I think he issued it with I think it was Rockefeller or something. They issued the statement, but sources are saying that it's him who wrote that statement.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's brings to curiosity for me, like, what's the relationship between Diddy and Jay-Z? Because over time we're just like, Diddy and Jay-Z are friends, but
we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what we don't know. So
that's true. But then do you guys think like his response being so emotional and so immediate, do you think that speaks to it being true or false? Like, where do you lean on that?
I don't even know like if I can choose true or not. It's just the thing of like, Jay-Z is really trying to distance himself from this stuff. That whatever it is, that it like is there was there, because they became billionaires slightly at the same time. And then we always idealize them as like the big hip hop gurus, like that are still alive. They've moguls. They've made the next level of hip hop. They represent the next level of hip hop for the industry, right? But like when you see like Diddy go through this path, you start to question like these guys were in a moment together. Did they not celebrate those moments together? And celebrating those moments together means that they were in the mix of the same stuff together as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
they probably won a couple of awards there at the VMA.
Exactly. But and it's not a thing of.
But you can't say one thing led to another.
Yeah.
not in this situation.
So I think I just wonder. I always wonder, like, where is Jay-Z in the Diddy stuff? Altogether.
So, yeah.
And also, like, for me, this has been going on for years, right? And if you guys, let's say you guys are bros, you meet this year and you go through life, now you're in your 40s. If there's something that either of you have been doing for so long and it's such a known thing in the industry, how is it that you don't either pull someone aside and say, yo, I'm not going to mess with this, and sort of have a difficulty in your friendship?
I think one thing that we fans sort of we think and could probably be wrong at the same time is that sometimes we think that these guys are extremely close, whereas they might just happen to be industry bras in a sense that there's people that you fuck with at work, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But it's not like they like your friends.
Yeah.
But like when you're at work parties or work functions, like you mingle with them, you do what you do, and you keep it moving just to
That doesn't mean that you represent what they represent.
I get it. Yeah. So that's how I see that situation. But like looking at like the whole situation, the fact that this chick well, now lady,
Mm.
is was there at that age, it kind of bring like a couple of questions as to like how is a 13-year-old actually even out and about?
Yeah.
How does she even end up at a
And
place like
13 is
that?
so
Yeah,
young.
13
Like,
is so
think
young.
of yourself as a 13-year-old.
13
What
is
were
so
you
young.
doing?
Definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but also, this is Hollywood, right? It's a
yeah,
completely different
yeah.
context.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
And from this thing, you can also expect a lot of pushback to come from whether you're a victim or like you are Jay-Z.
Mhm.
There's gonna be a lot of pushback from both sides of
Mm,
people pushing a certain agenda, right?
mm,
And like people who push the agenda that Jay-Z is like um guilty of this,
mhm,
but then also people who push the agenda of this person is also cloud chasing. So like there's a lot of
mm.
dynamics of these high profile cases
Yeah.
that like a lot of us will look at the news and the news can sway in a different direction anytime.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's always one of those like
I mean, I agree with you. There is
mhm,
that aspect of cloud chasing because at the same time, like, I guess, like, there's that part of me where I'm like, I mean, if you are saying that this happened to you, and I mean, there's a part of me that's like, okay, why did she have to wanna be anonymous,
mhm.
like, not be known
But of
in this
course, you should be
situation?
protected. Like, if that happens and you're a victim, you don't want your name out in the public. Because why should she have to be re traumatized by having her name published everywhere? She has a life that
So,
she's
so
built.
are you saying that she did that because of the fact that who Jay Z is? That's why she went in that angle.
I don't think
Like,
it's that
is she
case.
worried about the backlash that comes with that?
I don't think so though. I think for any rape victim, it's important for all of us who like their right is to be protected from
Yes.
saying who they are, whether
Okay,
it was high profile or not high profile.
Yes.
That's
okay.
not the issue for me.
Mhm.
It's just that sometimes there's an element of cloud chasing in this high profile stuff
Mm.
that it's very unique. It's not even about show or any of that. It's like you need to know what you are facing because it affects everything around you, right?
Mm.
And it affects like the media is gonna come after you in all aspects. Because I've seen like from the latest news that's coming out, now there's a lot of backlash going towards the victim because hey, there was some misinformation that she
Yeah,
gave,
that there's she went on. I
Eh,
think it was CNN or something.
yeah,
And then she started talking about some of her situation, like the day she
yeah,
was starting to sort of recall the day of
yeah.
the event, and then she was saying her father drove her to the
Mm,
awards, and then the father was like, "Nah, I didn't do
But
that."
yeah,
okay, before we even get there, right?
Yep.
When you
yeah,
guys are talking about the cloud chasing, because I don't want us to sort of go over that
To
point.
go over the
yeah.
point,
What do
yeah.
you guys mean by cloud chasing? Because what
I
cloud do
think
you get
I wanna get
from?
that. I wanna get that point.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I want to get how you connect,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
because I was saying
yeah,
that if she's trying to be anonymous
yeah.
and then doing all of this, and you're saying that no, she wants to be protected, but now the question is,
Yeah.
how is the cloud
Oh
chasing
yeah.
then in that case, because she's anonymous
Yeah.
and
No, the cloud chasing is not really even on the victim. It's like the
is it a cloud chase or a money grab?
uh,
I think it could
or it
be
could be
one or
that
the other.
the people that you are going against are very powerful that it could suppress your whole motion that you need to know your not know your facts but you need to know who you're going against, right?
Mm.
That you don't you counter all the things that they are coming at you against, and
But
that's
to
media
me,
many
but
times.
that's why I don't think it's cloud chasing
Yeah.
because you know who you're coming against. It's Jay Z, the
Yes.
mogul.
Yeah.
So I also just want to almost commend her to say that I think it's very difficult to come against someone like that. So sometimes people like this, the Jay Z's and Diddy's, do these things because they know that no one's gonna try and challenge them because
Yes.
you're Diddy.
Yeah.
So it does take a lot of courage to come forward and say, "Look, this happened to me," even though it was in the year 2000.
Yes.
That could never be for clout.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
That's very true.
That's
And
true.
those guys will use all their power towards you.
Yeah.
to silence you, to do whatever they can to
Yeah.
make sure that you look like you don't know what you're talking about. Like, and you can already see as it progresses that they are trying to get discredit her own opinion, like her own.
Yeah, they're already poking holes into
Yeah,
her story,
yeah.
but also at the same time, I wonder if the holes that these people are poking,
Mhm.
because at the same time, Hollywood has an agenda,
Yeah,
and once a big person like Jay-Z falls, then it might not be good
Mhm.
for every other celebrity, because now it's like the machine saying the machine doesn't have anyone's back.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay-Z is too big
To follow.
yeah,
Yeah.
because then no one is never going to trust the machine or trust that the machine has their back.
Mm.
So my question is like, with all of these people coming at angles, and not it's not just only CNN or whoever, even with podcasts that you'll see
Yeah.
coming out, like they everyone is on Jay-Z's back.
Yes.
Breakfast Club.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Charlemagne the guy.
They got
Everyone.
a lot of heat for that.
Yeah.
Everyone is on this chick's back.
Yes.
And there isn't even enough evidence for them to even be
She's
backing
she's still
all of this.
anonymous. She's still like.
All I'm saying is,
Mhm.
before you come in, I'm just saying that, is it the agenda that they're pushing, or do they genuinely believe that he didn't do it?
I think they're protecting the agenda.
Yeah,
I really do.
And for the
because at the same time, it's
to the
like,
public, it's a thin line between us seeing if it's an agenda or if it's real. Because when they push an agenda, they try to discredit the victim as much
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
that you start to question everything, right?
Yeah.
And now you start to question
Yeah.
that, but because I seen some thread that said Jay-Z wasn't even living in the location where she said he was living, right? And then you, that on its own is contradictory to what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cast
But like,
out.
it's also questioning her, what she knows as a fact, and then now we are trying to discredit her facts.
Yeah.
So like, there's always that awareness of like, there will be a lot of power to influence what she's saying, but like she
Yeah.
like there's also a lot of support needed to require her to like say what she knows as her fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes you're coming, in your mind you're thinking like, I'm gonna say my truth, but now they are also gonna discredit your own
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
But
been
like,
so many years.
but like,
It's been like 24 years.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's about you knowing that this is what happened and I'm gonna say my story out. It's not ignore media, there's a lot of pressure that will come from media and from other places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should just focus on what your truth was and is going
I
on.
hope it goes to court. Like, I
Yeah.
really hope she gets a fair trial, or he gets a fair. Like, it just needs to go through the due process. And I think something we
But
can all
what are the
agree
chances
on.
now? Like, what are the chances? Because like, this happened like 24 years ago,
Yeah.
and already, like, even when someone, like, with current cases that we see, even when someone was raped like 2 years ago, it's like those cases are difficult to even prove.
Yeah.
When someone literally did without having receipts. In 2000, were not like phone text, like texting was not even a thing in 2000. I don't think we were there yet.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. There was no sending a location.
Yeah. And
Like
there's so many celebrities who were there, but they're not going to speak out.
yeah, like, so it's, for me, I think it's too much of a mountain for her to climb, because I think with Didi, that was like you kicking a donkey that's down. Maybe that could work. I don't know. But like, going at Jay-Z is like, now this is a different beast, because there's a lot of people who put money in him. Like, now the Super Bowl have put him as like the one of the people who are curating the show. There's He's on a couple of boards and leading a lot of things where, you might need a bit more credibility to take him down.
I agree with you, but that highlights the problem in Hollywood. I think there's a serious child endangerment, violence.
But what is a
trafficking
13-year-old
issue.
doing at the VMAs as well?
Bro.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the same time, I understand that there's parents who give their children to like the industry, but at the same time, that doesn't um pardon the fact that nothing like that still shouldn't
You
happen.
need to protect your
Mm.
kids.
Yeah, like someone being raped, whatever age they are, it shouldn't happen at all.
And even before that, if you're at a party and you're in
Or
your
assaulted,
20s,
whatever it was.
yeah, if you're at a party, you're in your 20s and your 30s, and you see that there are children at that party, I think
Yeah.
it is part of your responsibility to say, this doesn't look right.
And
But hey, 2000 mentality was different from now.
yeah.
At the same time,
Child is a
hey,
child.
maybe niggas were rolling different now, because nowadays we have people who hold you. This thing
And I mean,
holds you accountable.
Accountability,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who have come out from the early 2000s and have succeeded, like the R. Kelly situation, Bill Cosby as well.
Mm.
People have spoken out where a lot of evidence has been gathered,
Mhm.
but this is just the beginning, so it will build up and we'll see like situations like Diddy have been popping up
Yeah.
since a long time
Yeah,
ago.
we've been hearing rumors.
It's not something that the rumors are now coming to life like in 2024.
True.
Like there's a lot of build up to it, and maybe this is just the beginning of whatever's happening, even to Jay-Z, for example. If
Yeah.
it's not, then maybe we'll see a pattern that maybe it's not something that people are chasing, you know?
And people are forgetting that even though you could be, what do you call this? You like now with P Diddy being arrested, it now
Yeah.
opens a can of worms for people to now go and start filing in their things. But Diddy is still not guilty. People are forgetting that Diddy is still not guilty.
We saw a whole video of him harassing Cassie.
No, but like,
No, but that case is a different one, and that was settled outside of court. You get me?
So what he's in
this
jail
new
for
case,
right now, he hasn't been found guilty. Is that what you're saying?
yeah. With the Casey one, this has nothing to do with Casey, the new cases that are coming through. So he still has to go to court, and if he's not found guilty, what is that gonna do? I think we can go to the next one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then what did we have?
United Healthcare.
Oh, United Luigi.
Fine, Luigi. Luigi and his eyebrows, guys.
Yeah. So Luigi,
I think for a moment you just saw like, this guy.
I just saw his eyebrows. I was like, this is a handsome man.
No.
Okay.
This is the real
Fine.
Luigi.
Uh-huh.
So
Who's Luigi?
So Luigi, this is the guy who attacked the CEO of United Healthcare.
He attacked, like
No,
he shot.
killed him.
Oh yeah.
Assassinated.
Yes.
So this guy basically, like, let's get into this guy's brain. This guy actually did a 3D printing
Yeah.
of a gun and the silencer,
Yeah.
and then shot the CEO of United Healthcare like 7 a.m. or whatever. Got on a bike, Central Park, gets into a what do you call this? A train,
Yeah.
and then disappears, goes to Pennsylvania, and then he gets caught in Pennsylvania with like passports, all of that. But now people are labeling him the hero. So, but then also there's also the other side of another family just lost a father, whatever. But this Luigi guy was had a master's. Was he went to a prestigious high school where he
Yeah.
was valedictorian,
Valedictorian.
and then was from a rich family as well.
Mhm.
So there's also questions of, is this guy like, if he's from a rich family, why did he
Act out of character.
act out of care? But I mean, there is news to say that he had back pains and all of that,
No.
where he had to go down and do some surgery. But yeah, let me just.
And he wasn't even on their healthcare plan.
He wasn't.
by
He
the
wasn't
way.
even on the healthcare.
So that makes me wonder: is it him?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a conspiracy theory,
Yeah.
but
What's
if you
your
look
conspiracy?
I don't. My take is that there's a huge machine behind this. The person who actually did the murder, the assassination, was too good, too slick.
Yeah.
The fact that you can do that at 7 a.m., get on an e-bike or whatever, and just get away, I think that is a different person.
Yeah.
Again, conspiracy theory.
Nah, let Luigi. Why are you taking okay, let me let
Let
me
me
let
cook.
you finish.
So he was at this hostel, and the only picture, one of the first pictures they had of him was he was flirting with the lady at reception. He took down his mask to smile.
Yeah.
Right. So that picture, I'm imagining that picture now,
Yeah.
and this Luigi guy who's arrested. Look at his eyebrows. I'm an eyebrow girl.
Yeah.
Look at his eyebrows. The one had a unibrow, like they were closer together, and in the
Yeah.
second one they're far apart. So are you telling me like he grew a unibrow in a couple of
Yeah.
days? It doesn't make sense.
How long was it from the shooting to? Just wondering.
Oh, so maybe
Yeah.
like a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe about a week
okay,
or so.
good.
Yeah, a couple days. I don't know how long.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to me.
Mm.
Something about that is just
So,
screaming red flags. And then
there's a
also,
lot of
someone who's so careful is suddenly going to McDonald's and having a burger out
Yeah.
of the blue.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about that is just sloppy.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has to eat, ain't it?
No, it's not like
and
McDonald's.
sometimes you're feeling like a Big Mac.
Yeah.
A young, I don't know, a Big Mac and some fries, nyana there,
Yeah.
you know, and some chicken nuggets.
Chicken
You know,
nuggets.
those chicken nuggets slap. Let's not lie.
Mm.
You know, and then look, I won't lie. There's a bit of rookiness to some of the things that he did, but there's also a bit of like, hey, this nigga really thought this out.
Really?
There's some aspects where you're
Yeah.
like, hey, there's some professionalism to this, because printing a 3D gun means that you don't want anything to be traced.
Really? He actually printed a 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
3D
Yeah.
gun that was
Oh,
used.
okay.
And they don't have serial numbers, right?
Okay.
They don't have
The
serial
same-
numbers. Yeah.
You can't track them.
This guy's sophisticated, actually.
He's a sophisticated
and
guy.
this is the thing that makes me doubtful, because, like, Americans are very conspiracy theories are real in America. Like, there's a lot of ulterior motives that can come from a simple play. Like, you could look at this and be like, some kid just killed the CEO of United Health, but maybe United Health was dealing in some $3 trillion business deal, and they were about to close it, and then this guy was gonna block it, and like they took him out.
Yeah,
Like,
that
there's
could
a lot
also
of
that could
like
also be a thing.
bigger fundamentals to some things, because
Yeah.
like I was reading through the case, and I was like, he was found in the McDonald's. There were so many things where I was like, this guy is really sophisticated. Like how it sounded in the shooting. The shooting incident sounds sophisticated, like a 3D gun, how he did it, why he picked this guy.
Yep.
This guy was a CEO. Like, look, how many times do you actually identify and see a CEO anyway? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
How
like,
did he
Did his
know where he
research.
was gonna be?
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
yeah.
So like,
That's- yeah,
he
yeah.
actually scouted, maybe like seen like this should be a motive to killing the CEO of a company.
There should be a motive.
Yeah.
There should be a
But there
motive.
is a motive because the US healthcare system is messed up.
Which is the motive for like someone else? Like, I wanna pinpoint
Oh,
it
you
to,
mean like him specifically?
Yeah, like-
I
Yeah,
agree.
to him.
yeah, I wanna know that, oh, this guy was a former employee who was fired a week before.
Hmm.
I
you know?
hear you.
Yeah.
But
He
like,
had no
Or he
motive
was
of
denied a
personality.
claim.
yeah, that was into millions, because like,
Mm.
like there's a motive why you go to the extent of killing
Yeah.
someone.
All he had was a bright future ahead of him.
All he had was a
The
bright
bright future.
future and some money from
Yeah.
like, because his parents were into real estate.
Mm.
So like,
Mm.
I don't know how he just takes a gun and he's like, you
But
know?
doesn't that make it even more of a statement? Like, this isn't someone who had nothing to lose. He had everything to lose, and he
Yeah.
still went against that. If it is
The
him,
system and what.
Yeah, no.
to make that statement that something needs to be relooked and reworked on.
All I'm saying here is that my take is there's always like a theory behind like what happened,
Yeah.
and we might not get to it.
We might not get to it, yeah.
Yeah, but like,
And maybe someone is just taking the
yeah,
fall.
exactly.
Exactly.
But like, there's just that 1-2 things that don't add up that
Yeah.
you wanna question again.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also, again, let's not take away from Luigi, bruh, because also there could be the other aspect of
Yeah.
Luigi is just not happy with how the system it is.
Yeah.
Because there's I don't know if you know this series, Mr. Robot.
I watched it.
You watched Mr.
Yeah, I
Robot,
watched Mr. Robot.
and you understand how that guy actually thought of like how the credit system worked.
Yes.
And he didn't understand the concept of banking and all of that stuff. So he made the banks crash
Yeah.
in some way or
Is
another.
that a
Yes.
movie or a series?
Series.
It's a series.
Oh, sounds good.
No.
That's very good.
Fire.
But like, they never really went into making those kind of shows, or like it was just that show, and it ended.
Yeah, no. After that one, they probably were like, "Hey, we don't need a lot of those."
Yeah.
But my thing is, with those type of shows or probably books being released like that,
Yeah.
people like Luigi can just read it, and also him knowing that he's coming from a privileged point, but maybe he's just taken
Yeah.
emotionally, and he's like, you know what, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm also experiencing it a little bit with my back pains and whatever.
And I'll be the guy who will be the hero.
Yeah,
if you think about it,
yeah,
the hero of pulling the trigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just be the hero of pulling the trigger.
It's deep.
And I see there's a pop culture trend of he's the hero. So.
Nah,
Yeah,
Luigi
people
is
are
the new,
backing
he's him.
Yeah,
Luigi is
they
him,
even
right?
said they were contacting his lawyer to be like they want to pay his legal fees.
Wow.
Yeah, people are backing him.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype around
here. I
actually.
can see it because also I think with lawyers, they also look at public opinion.
Yes.
And then they take advantage of that.
But also,
because that's what happened also with OJ.
The thought is also like, who's the victim here? Is it the CEO who was killed or the company? But that's the thought.
And then the question is also who's killed more people?
Yeah.
Right? Indirectly versus the direct killing.
How you see a villain is really up to you.
It is up to you. And also his lawyer. Have you guys seen the interviews with his lawyer? He's such a cool guy. I'll show you. Like he looks like very calm, confident. Luigi's lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He looks like it's like a Better Call Saul type situation.
He's a Jimmy McGill.
Sometimes you need a criminal lawyer, not a criminal lawyer. What is the saying? There's a saying about that, but yes. He looks like he has it under control.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating. But yeah, that's what I thought on him, man.
Yeah, I think when I saw it, I was just like, you know what, this is also like a case of, what do you call this, a son suffering for his father's sins. Looking at the CEO, in that the way the system is put, it's put in a way in which that it's meant to steal from the people. Like insurance, whether it's health insurance or car insurance, they want you to live this perfect life, and they'll send you this many documents that you're probably never gonna read, and then when it's time to claim, they'll be like, hey, but
that fine little print there from 20 years ago.
And the poor CEO, he's suffering. He could be suffering from that when Luigi looks at the system and he's like, you know what, this system is corrupt and I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
You know? So I also looked at it in that way, and I also looked at it in a way of just holistically, in a sense of like, the machine itself, it was never programmed to favor us. Whether it's healthcare, whether it's banking, anything. Like, guys,
not too much on banking.
Not too much on banking.
Not too much on banking.
Okay, no, let me not go too much on banking. But just generally, guys, like, you know, as much as we do pay medical aids, also just make sure. And I'm not comparing this to Luigi, but make sure you live a healthy life, because you don't know when you're gonna,
and have your things in order.
Yeah, man. I know that there's some couple of contracts that I was just signing because I just wanted to get to the end of it.
Yeah,
you know, maybe we should tread carefully with this type of things. But shout out to Luigi, bro. If I see
Luigi,
I hope that in the next coming 2 years or so, we start seeing more tattoos of Luigi, bro.
Oh my goodness!
Shout out to Luigi.
You can be the first,
or even in rap. I want to hear people rapping about Luigi.
I'm sure.
Please show.
I want to hear people rapping about Luigi.
That can be your first tattoo.
Nah, I'm not gonna tattoo Luigi. Finally,
yeah. So
finally,
I was going through my gallery the other day, this week actually, and I was like, I actually started from the start of the year to the end of the year, and I was like, oh, actually, this is what happened this year. And I was just going through, like, January I was in Namibia, and come fast forward April I was in Ireland, and like it just keeps on going and going, and I was like, oh yeah, this has actually been this year. You know, all of this transformation, who you are, who I've become, has happened in this 1 year. So like I just got curious, and I was like, how has 2024 been for you guys? Like Yeah.
Sort of like our highlights for 2024.
Sort of like a highlights for 2024.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanna start with even
You can start. You want to start with me?
Yeah, I wanna start with
Start
you.
with you.
Yeah.
Shout out. Okay, let me start. I think that from my side, 2024 has been. I think 2024 had a lot of ends.
Yeah.
Like, as much as there's been some victories, but there's been a lot of hands. Like in terms of like, it was a very difficult year.
Yeah.
But I've also like realized that in my life, which is I'm still very young, I
Yeah.
guess. In my life, there's those years. I think 2016 was a difficult year for me,
Uh-huh.
and then now 2024 is one of those years where
Yeah.
it's a difficult year, because moving here and also like experiencing a new level of loneliness,
Uh-huh.
because I thought I knew what loneliness was
Yeah.
when I was back home, and then you fly I don't know how many kilometers away from home, and then you experience a new set of loneliness, and you're like, holy shit.
And the sun sets at 3.
Yeah, sunsets
To make
at
it
3
worse.
to make it worse.
worse.
Yeah, nowadays, like, and it's so cold.
Oh, it's so cold.
There's no cuddles around. If you
we-
look left,
we
right,
came
and
here
center,
in
you know.
we came here in summer, or was going to be summer.
Yeah, and the summer
But-
didn't even feel like summer.
But at least it was vibes.
Yeah, at
Like,
least it was
we came on
vibes.
such a high note, and then
Yeah.
winter started, and you're like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah,
this?
no. I understand you there.
It's been rough, I feel you.
Yeah.
Nah, this year like has been a very difficult one personally for me. I think realizing it, like knowing a new level of loneliness, and also just personally in my life, like seeing certain things happen.
Yeah.
It was definitely eye opening, but also at the same time, I also applaud myself for also being brave enough to try new things
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah. I think
There's certain things that, hey,
even what you
Oh,
mentioned
no.
there, it's very
I put in the gun where I wanted to. I wanted to use the applause. Yeah. Shout out.
yeah, it's so fun. You used to do it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
eventually put it in.
Yeah, so
Yeah, sorry.
even like hearing your story is like very heartwarming, just to see that there's a step up, but like you're also like transitioning through it, and you're accepting it in whole. For me, it's like I kind of prepared for this year, because in my mind I was like, when I finish this, I'm gonna do this. So like I anticipated going abroad in this space of my career, but like you never really like take in how much real it becomes, like how much you meet new people, and those people become part of your life.
Yeah, a significant part of your life.
Family, yeah.
So, or how a location changes, like one physical land to another physical land, but it's actually like a whole life to another whole life. Yeah, and it's not to take away from where you are coming from. It's just like you become open, but also like you need to adapt to a new life, and new people, new ways of life. So like for me, as a highlight, it's not a moment, it's a whole year's thing of learning to adapt to a whole new life, like whole new people, whole new way of doing things. Because like sometimes really, bro, like where you come from, people really do things that way,
Yeah.
but like it's not like the norm. It's not like something where you think it's actually a big thing. Yeah, so like
What's been the biggest shock
um
in terms of just how people do things here that's different?
Shit, I was thinking about that not so long.
yeah, but like it's small pieces, like how people are nice, right? I think from where I come from, people are nice, but here people actually overextend to wanting to help you, and you should accept that. Like sometimes you pull up at a place and you feel like, should I really ask this guy where the directions are? But if you actually ask that person, they'll make it even more of a better experience, because they know where to go.
Yeah.
And like accepting that the next person can actually make things better for you, then you thinking in your mind that you are better doing it on your own.
Doing it on your
So like those were some of the highlights.
Yeah. What? So you said you were thinking about it last week. What
Yeah,
were you thinking
yeah, yeah. I was
about?
gonna say that one of the things I was shocked about Dublin was I thought I understood, like I thought like the accent for me was huge, because you come here and you think you understand English, and then you get here and then they're like, ah, no, you don't understand English. We speak it differently. And then even today I was buying like something, and then someone was like, what was that guy saying? Do you want a bag? He's like, do you want a bag? I'm like, huh? He's saying, do you want a bag for your? And I'm like, yeah, I do want a bag. But like the accent change, adjusting to it, I still am. It's still been a bit difficult.
I think, like, as far as world accents go, this one is mild.
Really?
It's not
I
that
think
bad.
so. It's not that bad. Like, go to Scotland.
Obviously, Scotland.
I think there are way like stronger accents. To
Obviously,
me, this one is
Scotland
quite.
probably will be rough. Yeah.
Yeah. I think as far as accents go, this
Because
one
the
is.
Scottish are still speaking their language as well. Because here it feels like, yeah, even though they still speak their language, but most of them are still predominantly like English.
speaking,
English
yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So a highlight for me, definitely going to Barbados for Carnival.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the best experiences of my
Yeah.
life. I mean, like, people who know me would probably, some would say I'm quite uptight.
Yeah.
So it was nice to just be on an island, be in a bikini for the entire time, and
Yeah.
just dancing, and it was very liberating.
Okay, cool.
And I just got to connect with people from all over the world, and it's an experience I'll always hold close to my heart.
Did you get the Rihanna vibe in?
Oh my goodness. The minute I landed, literally, as soon as I landed, it's like a humidity that's very different from here.
Yeah.
It's humid here too, but it's warm. So I was just in my bikini the whole time. It was nice to be
on a yacht.
On a yacht, shaking some stuff. Shaking a little sun.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I loved the whole experience.
What's the difference between, because in 1 year you experience this part of the world, which is Dublin, and Barbados, but you're not from both places. Like from the get go.
Yeah.
Like what stood out when you were like, okay, these places are different, but like very different from each other as well.
Sure. Okay. So when I landed in Barbados, it felt so like the Caribbean is like, it's unlike anything else.
It's like the
It's
ghetto.
not, I can't, no, stop.
It's like the ghetto.
No, oh my goodness.
Nothing works. Chickens are just running around.
I don't consign that. Absolutely not.
But chickens running around the whole
Are you done?
Okay. I wanna ask, how will you describe the ghetto?
Oh my word. Okay, what do you mean by ghetto?
Like,
because there could be, like, doesn't it differ wherever you go?
The ghetto.
Yeah, is there one ghetto?
No, there's no one ghetto.
Nah, but
there's no
like the ghetto is the ghetto.
Also,
But the
the
ghetto
ghetto
is the ghetto.
it's an energy though, right? It's a vibe.
Yeah.
No, just clowning. Just go ahead.
I'm gonna speak about Barbados. I'm not
Please
entertaining
focus on
this.
Barbados.
No. This is a
Let's
detour.
leave the chickens out of the Barbados.
It's a detour I'm not taking.
Okay, cool.
So as soon as I landed in Barbados, the people are very warm.
Yeah.
They're very welcoming.
Yeah.
It
Shout out
was
to Barbados people.
honestly very welcoming, very warm. They're very free.
You went there for the carnival, innit?
I went there for carnival, but I was there for about 2 weeks. So I also got to live as a local, go grocery shopping. Their meat is so expensive.
Is it nice?
Jeez, the meat? The food is okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
That's good.
But what was more the highlight was more just how open people are. People are super connected. They have this confidence about them that they know who they are.
Yeah.
But they're also very welcoming of other people and other cultures, and just but also because I was there for carnival, it wasn't just people from Barbados who were there. There were a lot of people from different countries, so we all just connected. It felt kind of like, like when you're in university orientation week, that first week where everybody's just
wherever
getting
you're
to
from,
know.
everybody's just
You're all just like, oh, where are you from? Oh, you're all in it together.
Yeah.
It was a strong vibe
But generally, black people are like that.
of being in it.
It's so good. Like, it's so nice to hear you say that, because generally black people are like, and knowing that Barbados is also like black dominated in it, so the fact that it just confirms you, like, the black people are just like that. When they see black people, they're just excited to see.
I think that's also something I'll bring up as my highlight as well. That I've experienced black people from so many places, in like so many places, from London vibe, and to people who are from Africa that are also just experiencing it the way you do. So like Africans are united. They just need to be brought closer.
I completely agree.
Like even if from one country, we'll think like, you are from a different place where you are from. But like if you bring us closer, we're actually more united than our counterparty.
And if you look at how we're raised, just our experiences growing up, like even like people I met from Haiti, for example, or other Caribbean countries, just talking about childhood, you think, wow, so all our parents were quite similar. There's like a African spirit among us, where like if you talk about your childhood, Swafeni does, we'll find similarities.
But what's that though? It's like the African
energy.
It's just in us.
It's just the struggle.
It's really cool though.
We bond from the struggle of
We're uniquely bonded as a people. And I think we carry that with us wherever we go.
That's good.
But then what do you guys think keeps us divided? Because if you think about it, okay, so there's the Caribbean black people, there's the African American, there's the African black people, there's the European black people. Like, why do you think we feel so far away until we're together and we realize, snap?
It's going to bring a bit of controversialness to it.
Go for it.
No, but I don't know. I think there's also the aspect of classism.
Yeah, I agree.
There's an aspect of classism that makes us as black people wanna be separated from each other, knowing that you're better than the next person, and
it's kind of like individual classism. Like it's not really like we are all classist. It's like I'm classist in my own right, that I feel like
you look down.
On anything, and it could be like I'm at a certain restaurant, or I eat at a certain restaurant that you can't, that I feel a certain classism.
So do you guys think it's an individual thing, that individual people look down on individuals, or do you think it's a nation thing? Like
it's very it's individual by nature, but it speaks to a nation as well.
It's sad, but Barbados was awesome.
I think we did a good show. Are we leaving out anything? Thank you so much for watching the show. Yeah. You know how it goes. This is the Raw Takes, and we have Tuafeni TP. You know, it's Kobe and T. And today we have another T, so it's double T with the Kobe. You know how it goes.
T cubed.
Yes, sir.
You know what? We are triple T though.
T cubed.
Oh shit, it's triple T.
Yeah.